So I asked the man, I said, can you remember how your relationship with this woman, who is now your ex, can you remember how the relationship started? And the man said to me, I can't remember ever proposing to her.
Wow. Hello, and welcome to another interesting episode of the Love Life podcast, brought to you by Love Fashions and Owners. I am Olola Day, and this is my host.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. I'm sure you're going to have a good time.
Yeah. So today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, which is
Me.
proposals. Yeah, you heard me right. Proposals. So, Dave, what do you think about proposals?
Yeah, proposals could be interesting and it could also be threatening, depending on who is involved and what is involved. So I strongly believe that this is a topic that everybody, especially those who are single, should pay attention to, and we'll do our best to dissect it as much as possible. And you're going to have a good time. Trust me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first question is, what is proposal?
All right. So if I would give proposals or a proposal a definition, now let me take it from the business perspective before we come to the love dimension.
Hey.
Every proposal is simply an expression of intention to offer value. That's what proposal is. Taking it from the business side of it, it's an expression of intention to offer value. So bringing it into the context of love, if you don't have value in mind to offer to your partner, don't bother proposing. So I would give proposal in the context of love as an expression of intention to offer long-term value in an emotional relationship. Yes.
So it's like a way of letting the other partner know that you want to get committed to
Exactly.
the person and you want to make it known
Yes.
for everyone to see,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's beautiful.
Known for everyone to see, well, contextual, because not everybody wants to have the proposal itself made public. But the effect of the proposal, there's nothing you can do about it. It has to be made public. Yes.
That's when you start
Because
saying ladies.
exactly, and some may not even want to make the engagement known yet until it has translated into marriage. Yeah, that's why I said the effect of the proposal. And in my definition, I mentioned long-term commitment. No proposal is for let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
Every
that's true.
proposal has the end in mind and bringing the other person into the reality now before it happens.
Yeah.
You understand? So, for instance, in business, when product or service developers are presenting a business proposal to a client, they have it at the back of their mind what the expected outcome of the product or the service should be for the other party.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
So, a person who is proposing should have value in mind, should have vision in mind. There must be, even though not into exact details, but there must be a picture of what the coming together of both parties should look like. Yes, exactly.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, another question I want to ask is, are proposals compulsory?
Very good question. Before I answer that question, let me tell you a story. There is a couple I, counseled at a point in the course of my counseling duties, and they are now divorced. So we were trying to do a history analysis of what led to the divorce. Yes. So I asked the man, I said, can you remember how your relationship with this woman, who is now your ex, can you remember how the relationship started? And the man said to me, I can't remember ever proposing to her.
Wow. Did you hear that?
He said, I can't remember ever asking her out. He said he was in a situation that needed comfort, that needed care, that needed attention. And the woman was there for him. She cared for him. She attended to him. She fed him. She was being nice to him. Yeah, women are good at being caregivers.
Yeah.
So because of that, he felt he owed her some form of extra commitment. And then from there, emotions that were not well checked, sprang up. Exactly. And then, funny enough, they were attending the same church, or they attended the same church at the same time. So people began to see them together a lot. And then the pastor intervened. Now, this thing you people are doing, you better formalize it to come and see me in my office.
Wow.
And that's how wedding date was fixed.
Set.
And they got married. But there was no concrete conviction that this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. There was no vision that this is the person I see in my future. And then there was no clearly defined value that this is the person I intend to pour into, that we may journey together into forever. So, having shared this story, of course, they ended up in a divorce. And I mean, it was painful. So, having giving you this scenario of a true life story, I wouldn't say proposals are compulsory. However, proposals are necessary. They are necessary because you don't want to find yourself in a relationship that is built on assumptions. A wise man said assumption is the lowest form of intelligence.
Yeah.
You don't want to assume anything. There must be a clearly defined, there must be a clear definition of what is existing between two people. So this is what I advise singles. If you find yourself in a web of emotional entanglement, the moment you find yourself gravitating in emotions towards one particular person, I'm not talking platonic friendship now, all right? But you find yourself gravitating in emotions towards one particular person, I think responsibility is laid on both parties to have a tete-a-tete on the definition of what the relationship is. So, as a lady, if you find a man showing you extra love and care more than every other person that you have noticed, please, if he's delaying in popping the question, if he's delaying in...
the lady should ask him.
Call him to...
What's going on? What are
crucial
we?
conversation. What are we?
Yeah.
Very important. Because assumption should not have its way in any relationship. Any. Bosses do not assume that a woman or a man is employed in their organization. The expression of definition is given in the offer letter. It is clearly stated that these are your roles and responsibilities, and these are the remunerations that come with it. So if you can do that in a job that you won't even spend the rest of your life doing,
that's true.
Max, by the age of 60, 65, in most cases, you would retire. You would retire. But forever is too long to run on assumptions.
Yeah.
Too long. So everybody who is finding themselves or who finds themselves in a web of emotional bonds with somebody must have that, bond defined at some point.
Yeah. And I believe, like you said, that proposals are necessary because for we ladies, as a lady, I need to just talk on behalf of my fellow ladies out there. So there's something we love about proposals. It gives us that sense of security because we have that acknowledgement that this man really wants to marry us. Because if we're just dating, just for months and there's no question, no, would you marry me or something, the lady will start feeling insecure. Like, is this guy just playing with me?
Yeah,
this guy just
leading me on,
just wasting my time.
Yes.
So I believe men should pop up the question.
Yes.
The lady would feel secured. And do you know that proposals will actually make the lady love the man more? And then she would have her mindset will shift. She would shift from that mindset of being a girlfriend to being a future wife, a future partner of the person. And her attitudes towards that would change.
Yes.
Her attitudes would improve. Yes. She would be more wife material.
Yes. More committed.
Yeah, more committed.
Yes.
And then, the management of the home, all
Yes.
those instincts will start coming up.
Yes.
So I believe the man should also pop up the question on time, please. And then men, they should be confident, right?
Let me even say this. One of the ways you set the tone of family leadership as a man is proposal. When you propose to a lady on time and in the right way, you are setting the pace for family leadership. The leader is the lead of every union. So in a family setting, in a relationship setting, who leads determines what is the lead. So the first lead is LEAD, the second lead is LID, which is like a seal or a ceiling.
Yeah.
No relationship can advance beyond the visionary and leadership capacity of the leader of that relationship. Yes, you are equal in rights. Yes, you are equal in the sight of God. Yes, you might even be equal in age. But listen, there must be a definition of who calls the shots. When you're faced with a bottleneck, there should be someone who's the final decision maker. So if as a man, it's not just by exercising muscular rights, you get me, it's not by bragging about being stronger, it's not by bragging about being richer.
Yeah.
In fact, funding the relationship does not make you the leader.
Yeah.
Setting the vision and moving your partner towards his accomplishment is what makes you a leader. And one of the strongest qualities of every good leader is communication. So in your proposal, you are communicating to the lady that I see the future and I see you in it.
Yeah.
Journey with me into it.
Wow. And every woman likes a confident man, actually,
Exactly.
because we are the ones living everything, like living our own self to
Yes.
join, to work with our future husband, our partner, into this marital journey. And I believe if a man is confident, the woman would readily follow his leadership.
Yeah.
But if she sees that the man is not even confident enough to pop up the question or to do certain things that a leader is supposed to do, she would definitely feel insecure because she'll be like, is this the man I want to lay down my own everything for just to follow him? And then she will start thinking twice. So I believe every man should be confident, like my co-host said.
And husband. Let me also say this. In many parts of the world, or let me say in many parts of Africa, when a woman or when a person is told your head is not correct, it is seen as an insult.
Yeah.
But there is how that statement can be a reality. If as a man, you don't call the shots, you don't take up your leadership position and setting the pace for the relationship, and then you spill into marriage on the basis of assumption that you just love each other and there was no clear definition of where the relationship is going, but you got married anyways, circumstances brought you guys together. If in the course of time, somebody opens his mouth to tell the woman that your head is not correct, it's not an insult, it's a statement of fact, because the head of the woman is her husband.
Yeah.
And at that point, the man is not a correct guy. So you don't want to be the reason why you'll be receiving stray bullets here and there that your head is not correct. Though. In your verbal balance, they will say, okay. So, I mean, while it could be insultive in many contexts, but be careful when your leadership is not correct as a man. So taking responsibility by being a good leader as a man in the relationship is a sign that the head of that relationship is a correct person. Yes.
Okay, so can we share helpful tips on proposal?
Okay. Proposals don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be how do I call it now? Bank breaking. Any proposal that will cost your finances to bleed is not worth it. It's a sign that that relationship is heading towards a financial disaster. You get me now? Because proposal is just an event. The life after the proposal. So these are the tips I would share concerning proposals. Number one, know your partner. Know your partner. I remember vividly, I did elective French in the university for 2 years, and one of the topics that stood out for me was preference, which means taste and preferences. It talked we in that series we learned about the likes and dislikes and how to differentiate one person's preference from the other and how to express them in French. So um I understand that people are not the same. Yeah. Don't let social media confuse you. All right. Understand what your partner loves. Does the person want it quiet, private? Yes, some people love loud. Exactly. Or exactly, or does the person want it loud? You understand? But remember, it must not be bank breaking. Yes. It must not. Any woman who is mounting pressure on you to organize a proposal beyond what your finances can handle is not a wife material. She's a night material. You will bleed, my brother, and you go shed blood. And you don't need it. You don't need it. The only blood that needs to be shed has to be shed for the remission of mankind sins. So you don't need to shed blood because the woman is mounting financial pressure on you. So number one, know your partner. There is a way you would have asked questions before that day. Oh, you know, the vibe exactly. The vibe between both of you must have given an indication that, all right, this is what my partner likes. You should know it, know your partner. Then number two, plan it excellently. Yeah. Anything not well planned for will fail woefully. That's the truth. Plan excellently. And there are people who are skilled with planning surprises and events. Yeah. And there are people who are not. You have the organizing talent. Thank you. So if you find out that you are not one person who knows how to organize, events or proposals or things like that excellently, seek help. You can ask a professional who is good at planning proposals. Now, not all event planners are good at planning proposals. Some people are not good with weddings, birthdays, yeah, even burials. Yeah. Yes. But find people who are good in planning proposals, all right? You may get some for free, you may get some who are paid. It might not even have to be a professional. It could even be your friend. It could be a friend that knows his friend. Yes, someone who knows how to do it. Yes. Within your budget, please. Within your budget, but excellently executed because mediocrity would cost you a lot. You understand? Yes. Yet efficient. Exactly. You understand? And pocket friendly. Yes. Yes. All right. So that's the number two thing. And then number three, when it when the time's right, be bold about it. You see, there is a way you can take care of the fear of getting a no. I believe anybody who organizes a proposal to propose marriage to a lady should be confident of getting a yes. Yes, exactly. If you are scared of getting a yes from a lady before proposing, and I mean, the ceremonial proposal, because I believe you should have sorted out your long-term journey indoors between yourselves. Exactly. Yeah. But for a person you've not vibed with emotionally, you've not spoken about the future, you've not spoken about journeying together forever, and then you go into a public space, you just kneel down, and then there are people. You set yourself up for. Do you understand? With ring light and all of that, and then there are people shouting, "Say yes, say yes, say yes," and then the woman tells you, "No, my brother, you deserve it. You deserve it." But if you find yourself in a situation where, okay, you didn't properly prepare for it, and then there was a public proposal, and the woman wanted to save the guy from public embarrassment, and she said yes in public, just like out of pity, or just to save the guy from embarrassment. Dear lady, if you found yourself in a situation where you said yes to a guy just to save him from embarrassment, but deep down within you, you know you don't want to journey forever with this person, please go back to the person and tell him, Chief, thank you for the vows, thank you for the event, but I don't think we can journey together. Probably it could be bad time. Yeah, exactly. But not that necessarily she doesn't love you. Yes. But at that time she wasn't ready in marriage. Yeah, exactly. And this brings us back to the leadership thing. Every man is supposed to be the number one investor in his woman. And when we say investor, it doesn't necessarily mean money. It doesn't necessarily mean money. Women are tender-hearted. Yeah. It is what you sow into them that you will reap in abundance. If you sow investments of capacity development, intellectual growth, spiritual progress, and all of those things, career helps. If you sow all of those things into a woman, even before strings start getting attached, trust me, she is most likely to be committed to spending the rest of her life with you. But you see, when men are all about physique, all they want to do is to touch and, sleep with the lady and all of that. A woman knows when she's being used. A woman knows when she's being used to pass time. A woman knows when she's just a sex object. And dear ladies, listen to me. Any man who has not committed himself to you for long term or for life, in fact, any man who has not become your husband is not deserving of your word. Yes. All this like how will I know if it's good in bed? Don't worry. When you get to that point, you will find out that you are both good for each other in there. Do you understand? So nothing should make you give husband benefits to somebody who has not developed himself to be so. All right. So at that point, be confident about, making your intentions known. And then let me also say this last thing. Right after the proposal, be fast in planning your wedding. You don't want to make a living Lord of the Rings. Don't do that.
Exactly, a lot of
Yes.
and then she keep wearing there
I
and
mean,
then
this is
for
not nice.
months. Some would actually propose to a lady, and then 2 years, 2 years they've not even started planning wedding. Nah, 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 nah. Guys, that's not right.
All right.
Okay,
I hope
so
you correct.
oh, we've learned it, and I hope everyone watching our viewers have also learned something. So yeah, come to the end of this topic. I wish we can just continue talking about a very interesting topic.
This is a clue that you should subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with others, and stay tuned. This time, next week, there's going to be another episode. Put on the notification button so that when we release another episode, you will be the first to hear about it.
All right. So, thank you very much for viewing. We love you. Bye.
Bye.